The ambulance sirens pierced through the night. Red and blue lights flashed across Riverside Park. Ethan sat beside Emma, holding her hand tightly. "Stay with me," he whispered. "Please stay with me." Emma's eyes were half closed. Her breathing was weak. The paramedics quickly placed her on a stretcher and rushed her into the ambulance. Ethan climbed inside without hesitation. As the vehicle sped through the city streets, his mind was overwhelmed. Only a few hours ago, he believed Emma was a memory from the past. Now he had discovered two life-changing truths. Emma was seriously ill, and he had a daughter. A daughter named Lily, a daughter who believed her father never wanted her. The thought broke his heart. At the hospital, doctors immediately rushed Emma into the emergency department. The doors closed behind them, and Ethan was left alone, waiting, praying, hoping. Minutes felt like hours. Hours felt like days. The bright hospital lights seemed cold and endless. Ethan sat in silence. Then he remembered Emma's final words before collapsing. "You need to find Lily." He quickly searched through Emma's purse, which one of the paramedics had handed to him. Inside he found a small notebook, several photographs, medical papers, and a folded piece of paper. His hands trembled as he opened it. Written in Emma's handwriting was an address. Beneath it were the words, "If anything happens to me, please take care of Lily." A tear rolled down Ethan's face. This wasn't just a note. It was trust. Emma was trusting him with the most precious person in her life. Their daughter. Without wasting another second, Ethan left the hospital. The address led him to a quiet neighborhood on the edge of the city. It was nearly midnight when he arrived. A small white house stood at the end of the street. Warm light glowed through the windows. Ethan's heart raced. Inside that house was Lily. His daughter. The child he had never met. The child who didn't even know who he really was. Slowly, he walked to the front door. His hand shook as he knocked. A few moments later, the door opened. An elderly woman appeared. Gray hair, kind eyes, a worried expression. "Can I help you?" she asked. Ethan swallowed nervously. "My name is Ethan Parker." The woman's eyes widened. For several seconds she simply stared at him. Then tears filled her eyes. "Ethan," he nodded. The woman covered her mouth. "Oh my God, who are you?" Ethan asked. "I'm Margaret." She smiled sadly. "Emma's mother." Ethan felt another wave of emotion. Emma's mother stepped aside. "Come in." The house felt warm and peaceful. Family photographs decorated the walls. Many of them showed Emma. And in almost every picture, a smiling little girl stood beside her. "Lily." Ethan's eyes filled with tears. Margaret noticed. "She looks like her mother, doesn't she?" Ethan nodded. "She does." Margaret looked at him carefully. "She also looks like you." The words hit him harder than expected. For a moment neither spoke. Then Ethan asked quietly, "Where is she?" Margaret pointed upstairs. "She's sleeping." Ethan looked toward the staircase. His heart began pounding. After 6 years, he was only a few steps away from meeting his daughter. But fear stopped him. What would he say? How could he explain everything? Would she hate him? Would she believe he abandoned her? Margaret gently touched his shoulder. "She has your eyes." Ethan smiled weakly. Then something caught his attention. A drawing hanging on the wall. Crayons. Bright colors. A picture of a little girl holding hands with a man. Above it were written the words, "My daddy." Ethan stared at it. His chest tightened. Did she draw this? Margaret nodded. "Every year." What? She draws a picture of the father she dreams about. Ethan felt tears building again. She never stopped hoping he'd come. The pain was almost unbearable. For 6 years Lily had imagined her father. And for 6 years Ethan had no idea she existed. Suddenly a small voice echoed from upstairs. "Grandma." Margaret looked toward the staircase. "Oh no." The little voice came again. "Grandma, are you awake?" Footsteps followed. Tiny footsteps. Coming closer. Ethan froze. His heart pounded so loudly he could hear it. A few seconds later, a little girl appeared at the top of the stairs. Golden brown hair. Bright eyes. A small teddy bear in her arms. Lily. She rubbed her sleepy eyes. Then she noticed Ethan. She stopped. The room became silent. For several seconds neither moved. Neither spoke. Lily looked confused. "Grandma." Margaret smiled softly. "Yes, sweetheart." Who was he? Ethan felt his breath catch. This was the moment he had unknowingly waited 6 years for. But before anyone could answer, Lily looked directly at Ethan and said something that left him speechless. "Have we met before?" To be continued.